Hey everyone, Patty here, and last video we talked about what you can basically start to expect if you're doing the treatment Candida Cleanser with the active ingredient Lufenuron. And I thought with this video I would like to talk about what is Lufenuron exactly and why wasn't it always available. So this was something that actually really infuriated me when I first learned about it, but the good thing is that it is now available. We can actually utilize this compound to kill a systemic Candida infection. So, background story, Lufenuron was actually developed by scientists at one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, maybe like 30 years ago. And here's the thing. When these scientists develop drugs or pharmaceuticals that actually have the ability to eliminate the condition or the problem in one or two treatments, it has a very low profit margin. And so what happened is exactly that. This compound was tested and discovered to actually be able to kill a systemic Candida infection within one treatment cycle, or maybe two, maybe three, depending on the leaky gut, depending on the healing, but it has the ability to actually kill the systemic infection. And so what this pharmaceutical company did was lock it away in a patent, and basically they threw away the key. Now, this patent expired a few years ago, and that's when all of a sudden people, independent people, started to produce and source pharmaceutical grade Lufenuron and start providing it for people via the internet. And only in this year, in 2015, has the FDA finally declared that Candida is a disease. And the reason why is because they're trying to prevent people from being able to sell you Lufenuron, because now that the FDA has declared Candida a disease, you can't make any claims for a product to actually be able to cure that disease unless that product is cured by the FDA. It is approved by the FDA. Now, the big problem is that because a giant pharmaceutical company developed this compound and they did not get it approved by the FDA, it now remains in a gray zone, which is what's so messed up about it. So here's the thing. These people who actually discovered Lufenuron a few years ago, once the patent expired, they are now utilizing internet marketing to be able to get it to people who are looking for a real solution to Candida. Now, Lufenuron itself is a compound that is derived from ingredients from palm tree and the rubber plant. And they take the oils from these plants and they synthesize them in a lab with a few basic chemical elements. If you imagine the periodic table, those are all chemical elements. And utilizing certain elements to create a fat-soluble compound that is actually 100% inert to the human body. The only thing it reacts to is the chitin layer of the Candida. Now, if we don't have any other functions in the body that produce a chitin layer, it is only Candida when it mutates into a fungus that it develops a chitin layer. So the Lufenuron basically destroys the chitin layer, which allows your immune system now to enter the picture and to remove and eliminate the Candida and all the toxins that the Candida encapsulates inside your body. So ultimately, if you have no chitin in your body, that means you don't have any fungal Candida, and the compound will just go right through you. It's completely non-toxic to the human body. So here's where people get confused, because even though this giant pharmaceutical company did not release Lufenuron into the world to give to people to use, which is such a shame. It's so ridiculous, but I won't go too deep into that. What they did do was they released it for veterinary use and pesticide use, because Candida and that chitin layer, they share that exoskeleton with fleas and ticks and cockroaches and other bugs with a hard protein exoskeleton that is also made out of chitin. So when you start searching for this name Lufenuron, you're going to find people who are terrified that it's a pesticide, that it might be mixed with solvents or whatnot. But if it is pharmaceutical grade Lufenuron, it does not have any solvents or other chemicals mixed with it, and that form of Lufenuron is completely safe, 100% inert to the human body. And what it does is it breaks down the chitin layer of the Candida. That's why it's also used to kill bugs with the same chitin layer. But again, if you don't have any chitin in your body, it's going to just go through you and you will lose it out of your bowels and flush right through you. So by taking the Lufenuron in Candida Cleanser, it breaks down the exoskeleton of the Candida, and then your immune system can get to work. Now, if you have a sluggish immune system, if you have an impaired metabolism, that means that you might require more than one treatment of Lufenuron to get the same effect as somebody who has a really active immune system. And unfortunately, Candida infection can cause autoimmune damage. So again, people are always going to have slightly different types of experiences with the treatment, but what we can guarantee is that if you have chitin in the body in the form of Candida, fungal Candida, the Lufenuron will break down this chitin layer, and your immune system will get in there and start to get rid of the Candida. So some people, by the, immediately their first cleanse, they start having lots of die-off. They start to experience the detox of the Candida dying and your immune system going in to remove the Candida and all of the toxins. Some people, it takes a little while, and it just depends. It's, for when I'm helping people work through their Candida cleansing process, people always ask a lot of questions. Can I do this? Should I do this? This person said this person said that. And every time I always tell them, listen, it wouldn't be fair for me to say to you, yes, that's the exact way that you need to do it, because it wouldn't be fair to your healing process. And that's why I recommend an elimination diet, something like GAPS, because then you can attempt the different stages, and you might move through the stages very quickly, or you might have to move through the stages very slowly. But an elimination diet will help show you which foods you can or cannot tolerate, and then for your body. That's the best way to figure it out as you're killing the Candida and as you're moving it out of your body. So I hope that clarifies to you today a little bit about exactly what Lufenuron is, and that's a quick introduction to an elimination diet, and I'll talk about that more in our next video. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you happy healing. Bye-bye.